Welcome to LCB episode 197. Sounds right.
That's not even. We're
close. So it's in the ballpark.
That is not close.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
117.
I was right in the ballpark.
Guess.
It was in the hundreds. It's a close enough guess. Today we're doing a quick review of
what the fuck just happened to Jeff?
The camera got better. I changed to the better camera.
Oh yeah,
that's your OnlyFans camera.
4K. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You see, he's got the angle too for the OnlyFans.
That is the most Florida bedroom I've ever seen. Oh, you're in Texas.
I mean,
Texas.
The seashell stuff is is super Florida. Yeah.
Those are
baskets.
They're baskets.
Okay.
I don't know. This is my mother's bedroom / office.
Come on, dude. Have some respect for co-host.
I need the ultra wide monitor.
Today we're doing a review on old. God damn it, Wes Anderson. Damn it.
What?
Asteroid City.
We're
talking about Asteroid City, and then we're going to do a review in honor of Wes Anderson, a vibe movie draft, which we didn't maybe totally define, iron.
Yeah, I have no idea.
But that's what's good.
This
I think.
I have to draft third.
If you try to define a vibe, then it's no longer a vibe. It's just the vibe is gone.
Just to give you a preview on the draft order, you are a third. It's going to be me, Gooch, then you. So it worked out perfectly for you.
I did look up like my best feel good movies just because I was like, all right, let's get the mind going here. And the first one on one website was up.
All the lists for this starts off horrible. Dude, one of the first ones I saw was the recent
sad.
Ghostbusters movie, not Ghostbusters Afterlife, the Melissa McCarthy one.
Lady Ghostbusters.
And they're like the caption of it was, "Don't listen to the haters. This is a fun movie." Like, no, it was ass. It's a bad movie.
It's a great movie to drink 4 to 6 Bud Lights at the theater on a Tuesday and fall asleep.
It's not even that. I wouldn't even say that's a miserable time. But before we get to that, let's talk about Game Time. Game Time, the exclusive ticketing partner of Barstool Sports, created by fans for fans. It's a ticketing app that makes it easier than ever to score last-minute tickets to sports, concerts, and shows, and they guarantee the lowest price. Whole bunch of concerts and everything coming up. MLB is still right now in full swing. I used it to go see a Yankee game actually last year. I haven't been to one yet this year, but
I've used them 3 times this year actually to see Yankees.
I'm using them next week to go see Blink-182.
Blink-182, yeah.
There we go.
You can get Drake, Billy Joel, Mets if you're a loser, and a bunch of other different baseball stuff. But I'm definitely going to use them to go to another Yankee game this year because it's an awesome app. And there's one great feature about it that we talk about every time we mention Game Time is that it's very easy to transfer tickets.
Yes.
Which is a pain usually, but on Game Time it's great. They have the biggest last minute price drops can be found in the seats that you never thought you could buy. It just takes 2 taps and 10 seconds to get your ticket. Once you buy your tickets, they're delivered directly to your phone, no printer needed. The app also allows you to easily share tickets with friends like we mentioned. Skip the hassle and enjoy the moment. Download the Game Time app or go to the website, enter your email and redeem code LCB for $20 off your first purchase. Terms do apply. Remember, go to Game Time, the Game Time app, the website, enter your email, and redeem code LCB for $20 off your first purchase. A couple news things. First being that old Marty Scorsese, Spielberg, and PTA made an emergency call to Warner Brothers CEO David Zaslav following their moves to gut Turner Classic Movies, which is obviously huge. Turner Classic Movies is massive in the movie world. I like the fact that they called them. I also, in my head, just imagine Zaslav's like, Scorsese, yeah, Spielberg, yeah. Who the fuck is Paul Thomas? I would bet money he has no idea who PTA is.
No, he knows 2 directors. It's those 2 guys, and then that is absolutely it. He still thinks the Flash. Do you think he even knows the Flash came out yet? He's like,
it's earnings call. It's all earnings call for him. So I'm sure he does. But maybe he heard Paul Thomas Anderson.
$300 million. What the fuck?
What did he call Dune? Didn't he say it's like he's like bitching or something?
Something
dumb
he didn't
like
say
that. But he said something that made me think it may not be good.
Well, anything he doesn't like will probably be good, just based off what we've seen from his relative scale so far, right? Because he said The Flash was the greatest comic movie ever made, bar none. So we'll know. But I can imagine him hearing Paul Thomas Anderson and being like, "That's the guy who made Resident Evil, right?"
They really thought they had a hit with The Flash. They really did. They spent $150 million on marketing.
Mm-hmm. For a movie that was not great.
Also, I meant to say this last time. By the way, he said Dune 2 is fab. Dune 2 is fab.
That's not the way you describe Dune.
No. There were some shots of short hair Barry
They look weird.
In the Flash, where he looked like Nathan Fielder,
yeah.
by the way. There were some shots where like I was like, who does that like mildly look like? And I was like, oh my god, it's Nathan Fielder. Like there's a couple shots.
Listen, Barry Allen's smart guy, forensic scientist, but he could never graduate from one of Canada's top business schools.
Mm-hmm. Not in a million years would he ever be able to. I always try to think of like my favorite Nathan Fielder skits. I think the tiny pizza always every time it made me laugh so
I have
hard.
not seen all of it, but I mean I've watched enough where it's fucking hilarious.
I think my favorite like one line though, like back and forth, I've tweeted this before. It's where he like where you almost see him break. You can see his genius spinning is when he's talking to the marketing guy in the poo frozen yogurt one, and he's like, "What are you, a penis expert?" He goes, "No." He goes, "What? I didn't say I was a penis expert." And it's like one of those times where you can just see him like running circles around somebody.
That was a really good the poop flavored ice cream. That was. Did you see that one?
I can't remember. Oh yeah, with the Froyo shop.
Yeah.
Yes.
That one, and I think the one where he had like a countdown to escape a thing, or else he became a registered sex offender. That was the reveal.
Yes, that's the best intro.
The reveal of the policeman was so funny.
That was so fucking good. But yeah, now I want to rewatch that. That and Dumb Starbucks was also very funny.
Which one was that?
He made his own coffee shop identical to Starbucks, but just called it Dumb Starbucks. And he's like, yeah, it's a parody. But like they served everything that Starbucks served. Everything was the same. And then I think they ended up getting sued for it or something.
It made like massive national news too. And it was before people knew what it was for.
That was nuts.
It was crazy.
Yeah, so Marty and Spielberg and PTA went to David Zaslav's phone and told him to I guess, don't gut Turner Classic Movies, which is a good thing, obviously. But it's weird that like this is the point Zaslav's gotten to, where every move he makes is unanimously booed by everybody, to the point where like directors, like all-time great directors, need to call him and be like, "You're stupid. Stop doing what you're doing."
I mean, it's the Avengers for American filmmakers at this point. I mean, Warner Brothers cannot keep calling themselves the home for filmmakers. They call themselves the home for filmmakers. You can't keep doing that if you're going to have Martin Scorsese and Steven Spielberg getting on the phone, calling an emergency call to your house.
Yeah.
Fucking fix things. Yeah. TCM rules, but I don't know if
TCM is awesome.
Yep. TCM's so awesome.
Great tab.
Yeah.
Back when they don't have tabs for
the hubs
on Macs. Yeah.
The hubs were awesome.
Was awesome. But now we had to switch to fucking Macs. So stupid.
The Max colors, I don't like them. I don't like that blue.
Why did they switch to blue? There's like 3 or 4 other blue streaming icons.
I love their purple.
Prime Video, Paramount Plus, like half of them are goddamn blue.
Yeah, the HBO Max purple stuck out. It was very
like one of the few colors that isn't already taken. Like Roku's the only thing even close, and the Roku doesn't even offer necessarily the same service, so like that doesn't really even count. But yeah, so that's David Zaslav being stupid. And for the 50th time we've had to mention him on this podcast, it feels like, in just like 3 months time.
How long do you guys think he lasts? Do you think he makes it like another year? It's all about how the shareholders feel about him, basically. And as long as he's cutting costs and making the company money, they don't care. But like what he's doing is short-term health versus long-term growth. And so it's very difficult to kind of predict. I feel like TCM is one of those things that doesn't need to make. I feel like it's like PBS. Like you don't need to make money on everything.
Do you remember he canceled an entire movie that was already done? Like he's just like, nah.
It says it wasn't like terrible. They say it's not great, but it's like, not bad. But
they released The Flash. Like, you know what I mean? Again, the money's not comparable there, but like at the same time, like fucking
maybe don't spend $150 million on marketing for a movie that audiences did not like.
The fact that he just said no to a completed movie and multiple other series that were great. Like we had talked to Jake Johnson before, like Minx. The fact that they canceled Minx is crazy to me because that was an awesome show. I don't know how the viewership.
I think you're the only person that watched Minx is the problem. I watched the first like 4 episodes and I did like it, but I haven't talked to anyone else who watched it.
It's a fair point.
What's up? You got the answering machine of David Zaslav, a.k.a. the CEO of Warner Brothers Discovery, a.k.a. the boss man, a.k.a. the head honcho, a.k.a. the big swinging at the little factory. You know what to do. Hey, Davey, it's Stevie here, and I'm I'm with Marty and PT. That's I, Steven Spielberg, with Martin Scorsese and PT Anderson. We just wanted to reach out to you together to say we're disappointed to see your decision to completely gut the Turner Classic Movies channel. I know it's all of ours favorite channel and the favorite channel of hundreds of thousands of dads across the country who prefer to listen to baseball games on the radio instead of watching them on TV. I know for a fact if you go through with this decision, we at Amblin, we don't want to do business with you. Anyways, I'm going to turn the phone over. Do either of y'all want to say anything? Yes, hello, Mr. Zaslav. I find your latest deviancy to be quite reprehensible.
Oh, give me the phone, you f***ing dweeb.
Oh, Marty.
Listen here, you little face. You f***ing fix this ASAP, or I swear on my mother's grave, I will rain a storm down on you. I will f***ing bury you. You think I made all those mom movies without knowing a thing or two?
Okay, Marty, that's enough. That's enough. Anywho, if you could get that fixed by the end of the week, that'd be great.
Tell him to bring back Ballers. What? Tell him to bring back Ballers.
Also, if you could bring back Ballers to HBO, that'd be great. All right, then. Bye-bye.
Next, we had John Wick, the director, or I guess creator, Chad Stahelski, who we've talked about at length. He wants the best stunts category at the Oscars. I think that's absolutely deserved. Like, there's so many movies, like so many of the movies that are watched by regular people depend on good stunts. Like, if there were no stunts allowed on those movies, they would be unwatchable, basically. Yeah. Like, we just obviously interviewed Sam Hargrave too, and like how much that affected their ability to make Extraction 2. Like, they deserve some sort of recognition. How they do it is the bigger question. Like, he's like, well, what do we do? Like, we give the award to the best fight choreography. Do we give it to the best car chase? Do we give it to this? I don't know. If I had it my way, I'd give it one for each, but you can't do that.
Yeah.
But like, this is, if we're talking about like stuff on the technical side of the Oscars awards, that is one that has no representation in the Oscars that absolutely deserves it as much as any of the other ones.
Something I'd never thought of. And then when he brought it up, I was like, yeah, it is kind of shocking that doesn't exist already. I mean, you got awards for, like hair and makeup. It's the same thing where it's like, these are supporting cast members that are just as important to the production as the hair and makeup department is. Like,
this is one of those things that I could see them never
fucking up
doing.
like they did with best cheerworthy moment or whatever.
I still think they should have brought back best popular movie. Like, I think they should have just eaten the hate for it, and I think people would have liked it. I think sometimes you got to make an unpopular decision. And I think they ended up doing alternate things, like whatever the hell they did with the cheer, whatever that nonsense was.
Because it was fucking because it was public fan vote on social media. It was so stupid.
Yeah, it was stupid. They should have stuck to their guns, done most best popular movie, taken the shit initially, and guess what? Spider-Verse or No Way Home would have won. Like, you would have had movies win that were very worthy of being. Top Gun would have won last year, and nobody be complaining. Like, those are two movies that I think you could legitimately be like, yeah, you know what, Spider-Man, you could argue kickstarted to kind of save movies, and so did Top Gun, saved theaters. Like, that would see right there, that would have been two. Endgame would have won, right? Like, you would have had very worthy movies winning. Endgame, it might have been like the year after. My point being, you would have had these movies that were worthy of like having a gold statue that impacted cinema. So it's like they should have stuck to that, and they didn't, and they backed up and they did some other stupid shit. So they did do one thing. Did you see the thing today?
Oh, this is good.
About
go ahead.
This is actually very good. You now, and this is kind of the combat streaming, and you now need to showcase your movie in more than LA and New York. It's got to be 10 markets, not just LA and New York. That's good. That's
now
a
we can get in the
really
Lansing and Chris can watch the movies.
Yeah, it's gonna be only they're only picking Barstool cities. That's gonna be the big news. That's what they came down with. That's a good change. I'll give them credit there. They know when they do something good, they deserve the credit.
I'm trying to think of what else would have won in those moments, but like really, those studios, they make the money off of those, and then that's what funds these movies that actually win Oscars. You know what I mean? Like, even if you think about fucking like Everything Ever All at Once, that was produced by Abgo, which is by the Russo brothers. You know what I mean? Like, that's just how it works. So they deserve some sort of graciousness from the Oscars, I guess. Yeah, popular movies.
I wouldn't hate seeing them integrate some sort of like, maybe not for the Best Picture award, but like you were saying with the popular movie award, like maybe like a money per screen, like you have to earn a certain dollar, like
to be in the category.
Yeah, like you have to actually, people need to have seen the movie. I think that's one of the biggest issue with the Oscars is nobody's seen these fucking movies.
Yeah.
Like we see them and we know them and we know these directors and these actors, but 95%, 99% of the public just has no idea.
Exactly.
No clue.
It would so I looked at it. I think again, I may be wrong on Endgame. It would have definitely been Endgame. Endgame broke records. 2020 would have been tough because of the pandemic. Like what one? Bad Boys for Life. Like I
mean, because no other movie was really
Tenet,
out.
I guess might have won.
Tenet was the fifth highest grossing movie of 2020 or 2020. It was a flop.
Yeah, it's got like $200 million.
And then it would have been. Yeah, and then it would have been Spider-Man: No Way Home, very deserving, and then it would have been Top Gun: Maverick. See, it would have been a good award. I think it's stupid that they got bullied off.
So let's just say like the top 10 movies of each year were the ones that were, I guess, considered or by box office anyway. So No Way Home, Battle at Lake Changjin, a Chinese movie, Hi Mom. You guys see that? Third highest grossing movie of 2021. I didn't see it. No Time to Die, F9 The Fast Saga, Detective Chinatown 3. That's not real. Venom Let There Be Carnage, 7th highest grossing movie.
Shut up.
Holy shit. Godzilla vs. Kong, Shang-Chi, and then Sing 2. So I don't know if I'd want any of those to win the Oscar, but
no,
for most popular movie.
But again, Spider-Man would have won
out of that grouping, absolutely.
Right. Like I think most years you would have had something that would have you might have been able to see Dune might have slipped in there because it got a lot of regular, like you can definitely tweak the way it gets nominated. But I just I don't know. Again, I think it's stupid that they don't reward and whatever. It's like what are you going to take the first 2 years? People are going to piss and moan about it. Like, who cares? Because now what you're doing is stupid. Now it's like your phony social media photo. Like that's patronizing. Exactly. What was the movie that was up, the Johnny Depp movie?
Minkata or some shit. It was him as like a journalist in Japan. That was fucking weird. And it's funny because it just pissed off everybody. Like nobody liked it. Like the really insider Hollywood people hated it.
Yeah.
Everyone that like wanted to be more like the Oscars to be more accessible hated it. Like it pleased nobody. Yeah. So that's our Oscar talk. The first trailer for the GameStop movie, Dumb Money, is here. Pretty big cast. Anthony Ramos, who we just talked to, Shailene Woodley, Seth Rogen, Vincent D'Onofrio as Steve Cohen, Sebastian Stan as Vlad Tenev, who our boss Dave once debated on a live stream, Paul Dano, Dane DeHaan, America Ferrara, Nick Offerman. Follows obviously the GameStop stock skyrocketing throughout the course of COVID. I think it was like a super entertaining era that I did not pay really much attention to at all, which is why I'm interested to see Craig Gillespie, who directed this, kind of break it down. Because it kind of did the same thing for me with I, Tonya, where it's like I don't know anything about that really. Like I didn't know much outside of the surface level, and he dove into it in a way that was like he exaggerates it enough for it to be very entertaining and very funny, while also I guess like kind of learning some things you maybe didn't know about. So I'm very excited to see what he does with this.
Yeah, I think because I, Tonya was so good, and like Cruella was great for what it was. I think
Cruella was great.
Yeah, it's fine.
Great,
solid. But like, I mean, I think you could do something with this. Like, I first of all, very curious if anyone plays our boss in this. Dave was in the documentary. I watched the documentary on this because I was like, you can Jack. I mean, I remember it, but I don't know
like really outside of like headlines.
Yeah. It is like there's something cool that could be here. This could also be just absolutely abysmally boring. And I do think there needs to be some sort of clause in Hollywood that you need to wait like 6 years for a biopic. It's just like,
dude, this submarine, there's someone at Netflix fucking licking their chops at this shit, like without a doubt.
Social Network was like the perfect distance for a movie. It was like 6 years, like 5-6 years. Facebook was still exploding at the time, but like it was just the right amount of time. Maybe a little earlier, so it's like maybe like could have waited, but like it was kind of Moneyball's another good example, kind of the perfect time. I just like some of these things are coming out so. I mean, there's going to be a movie.
That's what I just said. Yeah, dude, it's not a
year. Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't realize you said that. Sorry. Yeah, it's like
they're already making a documentary. I think Discovery Shout out Zaslav. I think they have a crew out there trying to make a documentary about it
Like,
already.
like tomorrow.
Jesus Christ.
Unbelievable, man.
Get Tom Hanks down in that submarine.
No, get Steve Zissou. Wes Anderson makes a documentary about this.
Shout out to our good friend Fights. He said it on KFC radio too. It's like the Titanic is so fucking like the Titanic is not the Kirk
I love to see that one. Yeah,
the James is. It's not the James. By the way, I gave Gooch a big box of DVDs when I cleaned out my desk, and he had no interest in Kirk Cameron Saving Christmas, which was a very strange.
You can't say Christmas anymore, Gooch. That's what they call him now.
Don't say
it. The Titanic stinks. It's small. Leo wasn't on the ship. Kate Winslet was on the ship. It's like the Titanic seems like a real going into space. Like that one guy, Hamish Harding, I think his name is, the billionaire who had like the
unbelievable the stepson.
What a ride! What a ride that was yesterday. God. He went from
that's like a storyline.
He went from going to the
like an early
Blink-182 concert to harassing e-girls, to dropping the N-word on the timeline.
He's a wild boy. Yeah.
But that guy went into space. Like Hamish Harding went into like one of those Blue Origin things. Like, God forbid, hope they do more of those and they're all safe. Something had happened there. Is anything worth dying? I don't know. But like going into space is pretty insane. I'm sure some people disagree with me that going down to see the Titanic is worth risking your life. But I don't know. For me, the Titanic doesn't hit as hard as
getting 0G.
Yeah. Like space is cool. Yeah, like that's insane.
That'd be awesome doing the one where they go up and down and they get like 0G. Like that stuff sounds, and I hate heights and all of that, but that looks like it'd be so goddamn cool to be in 0G. I'd love nothing more. So yeah, that's the trailer for Dumb Money. Look good. I'm very interested. Kind of cool execution. I like seeing even I've grown to like Pete Davidson so much more than I thought I would coming out of SNL. Like, you know what I mean?
Oh, I thought you were saying because of Transformers.
No. Although he was good in Transformers.
Oh, actually,
he was good in Transformers. I didn't even realize it was him until after the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I like Pete Davidson.
I think Staten Island quite a bit. I haven't watched all of Bupkis
Neither have I.
yet.
Rico won't stop telling people to watch it in our office. He walks to every person. He's like,
he's a lot of Staten
you
Island.
See Bupkis yet? And I'm like, no, I haven't seen it.
That's the best Rico impersonation I've ever heard.
Actually, wasn't bad, right?
Yeah.
Fucking you do better, dude. Marvel Studios.
You want me to fucking do better?
That was actually pretty good. That was definitely better than mine. That was better than mine. I'll admit it.
It's pretty good.
You just fucking threw it in my face.
I gotta say. Gooch likes Rico. Rico's big Cincinnati Reds guy right now, and Gooch has weaseled his way out of the woodwork as a Reds fan, which he is.
Who watches from bad baseball teams? That's the question. Nobody.
It's way too much. Like, if bad football team, you can do it.
My only thing that I'll give you shit on, and it's fair, is that you have been a baseball fan since I've known you. You've just been rooting for your friends.
His team is so bad right now.
Real bad.
Dude, they give up like 10 runs a game. Bad. It's so bad.
They are pretty bad. No, the Reds are fun. The Reds are the Reds are always when they're good. By the way,
I wish you were on the bracket the last episode, because Clemmer basically put a dog leash on Francis and walked him around the office. It was unbelievable. Am I wrong? Like
in the most demoralizing way. Like, he put the Harvard man, like he just put his brain in a pretzel. Like, he's just dancing on his grave.
Oh my god, dude! I wish you saw that. It's so funny. Anyway, so Marvel Studios catching some heat because they used AI to create the intro to their series Secret Invasion, which we could talk about our thoughts about too. I honestly just skipped the intro. I didn't even I saw the news after I'd already started it, and I was like, I don't care. I didn't care really at all. When AI is taking away jobs, it sucks. It will always suck no matter what. I think in my brain, I hate it more when it's they're taking away screenwriting, or they're taking away VFX in line with the movie or show versus the intro.
I understand the pushback on this because there is it's a slippery slope, but there were artists they hired artists to just use the AI tools to create this. It's not that uncommon of a thing. I think people don't realize how much AI and computer assisted graphic generation has been used in the past. You're not going for instance, Across the Spider-Verse, you're not sitting there and they're not drawing it in frame by frame. They're using some assistance from the computer to generate the images. And that's the same thing as AI, what they're using here. So I don't have a massive issue with it. Have you guys watched the show yet?
Yeah. So we can get into our thoughts on it too. I think we all watched the first episode.
I haven't watched it yet.
I had an unpopular opinion, whatever. I actually didn't even really know what people said to me back, but I didn't bother me that the AI thing. So, I mean, whatever. Maybe I'm a fool for believing the people behind the show, but they said it was a creative choice because the scrolls, like the storyline is, it's deception. It's not real. It's looking at something and saying something's off and all that. Like, I understand that. Like, I'm okay with that. Like, I get the outrage to the extent of like, you know, you get the ball rolling there. It's like, what's next? Like, what's AI next? But like, I don't think there was like a malicious intent done with it. Like, I don't, if there were parts of the movie that were done completely AI and like script and, you know, voices or something, then yeah, that's a problem. Or that's, you know, I understand that. But I mean, I think like the AI voice acting for Mark Hamill might be a bigger thing. It's like, if you want to look at crazy things, like them doing this for the intro doesn't like, I don't know. I guess they're taking away some human jobs there that could have made it. But for me, the explanation was fine. It's like, didn't bother me. I get some of the outrage, but a lot of it felt also super performative on Twitter.
Because I think they realized that that gets a lot of clicks when you start complaining about AI. Like, everyone's on your side about it on Twitter anyway. So I think that anytime they hear AI, you got to tweet about it.
Soups, they had Soups up in arms. Soups was like, oh no, I don't like Marvel. I don't like him right now. It's a lot for to turn Soups against the company, turn Soups against the mouse.
Fucking Soups. It'll be all great fun and games until like we get replaced by AI. They make like AI white dude podcasts. It's like, here's Bobson Dugnut and Todd Gonzalez talking about movies because they wouldn't be able to figure out real names, so they'd be using like the Japanese baseball names.
It's just an AI stuck in a loop of LeBron versus Jordan.
Yes, debate. Exactly. It just never gets out of it. It's like a paradox that breaks the machine. But yeah, so the actual show, it's directed by the guy who was a director on Mr. Robot, Kyle Bradstreet, Samuel Ben Mendo, Kingsley Ben-Adir, Emilia Clarke, Olivia Colman, Don Cheadle, a lot of other Marvel players in little bits. First episode, I think like it's very difficult to make a judgment call based off of what we've seen, which is what I think we all kind of came to that conclusion too, where it's like, hey, I liked what I saw out of this episode. It's kind of hard to say like I don't think I was chomping at the bit like, damn, I can't wait for the next one. I was like, okay, I'm interested. But also, and I texted you guys this too, I feel like they took a little bit of a leap thinking that we remembered or cared that much about the scroll stuff. I feel like we needed more of a recap. You know what I mean? Or like more of like building up and like letting us know information or exposition or something like that. They just kind of jumped into it. And I was like, buddy, I haven't watched Captain Marvel since it came out. I don't remember any of these fucking names, you know, or any of this stuff, you know?
Yeah, none of it that didn't make much of an issue. I liked the first episode, and I actually liked it quite a bit. I thought it was like really good. I think for what they did, I was kind of surprised by Marvel. That type of stuff, they promise a lot of things, and I feel like they sort of under-deliver on a bunch, save Loki and WandaVision, which still is concerning. It's like the first two ones that came out. But like this lined up with darker, more grounded. It didn't feel like it really wasn't very jokey at all. I liked what there is, but I said it to you guys in our group chat. I'm not going to say anything until the season's over. That's been the problem. It's like something's been really good and then they end poor. Some have been like poor and they get stronger. So I don't know. I liked what I got so far. Like I was quite pleased with it. I mean, the scrolls are interesting enough. I'm curious how much of an impact like this show has in the future.
Exactly.
Really
it's such a perfect power to like not overpower and make this too much of a superhero thing, and enough to make it like espionage interesting. You know what I mean? And like that was a cool. Again, we always talk about it. Winter Soldier, one of the best Marvel movies. Not really a lot of powers featured in that.
No, just Robert Redford looking fine as fuck,
looking very fine. ScarJo also was very cool in that movie. Great fighter,
Robert Redford. Looked good. The man with the gun.
You had no thoughts on him?
I haven't watched it.
Oh, okay.
Not yet.
It's good.
I'm saving it.
Spoil it.
Yeah. I don't know.
Sure for what?
I watched
I think it's very worth a watch. I think it's really solid.
First episode of The Bear this morning. It was awesome.
Yeah, that's what I'm going to watch first.
Bear season 2. That dropped today. Very excited for that. And they dropped the whole season, which at this now where we're at right now with the way streaming's worked, it pisses me off that the entire season's out. I want to be teased like a little piglet.
Yeah. You know? I thought that was kind of surprising that they did that.
Especially for a show that did that well. perform that well on their first season.
Or at least do the 2 or 3 episode drop and then do week to
Yeah.
week. I don't know. I just like the week to week. I like having something to look forward to.
Me too. Fuck. I guess we should do old Asteroid City. Let's talk about Asteroid City.
We got to talk about that poster quick.
Yes, Beanie Baby
the
Bubble.
Beanie
Yeah.
Baby Bubble. The Zach Galifianakis screen grab from the Beanie Bubble movie. Did the trailer
I don't
come out,
think
by
so.
the way, this afternoon?
Oh, wait. Okay, it did.
It's kind of a weird movie to do a poster.
Oh, it did?
only drop.
7 hours ago.
I don't really care about watching the trailer.
I'll take a peek.
Oh well,
Yeah.
well, post the trailer, I guess.
Let's watch now.
We can. Let's watch it. Let's watch it.
Oh, he looks weird. No beard. I don't like this already.
They don't have the rights to Beanie Babies?
Good question.
Yeah, I guess they don't. And actually, if what the heck? That's
Wait, but they had
not
his
what I
name in it.
expected at all there. I guess I'm sure they could use his name, right? I feel like that's probably allowed.
So you can use all the names, but you wouldn't be able to use the actual. They said Beanie.
Hold on. Also, what name? Also, yeah. Actually, hang on a second. There's a. Oh no, they do call him Ty Warner. That's weird. Those didn't look like
Not
Beanie
the ones that were
Babies.
on there. No, yeah.
They like large
Maybe
stuffed
they're.
animals.
Yeah, I guess they're gonna do a different direction.
I wonder if it's like
It's weird if they don't have the rights, because then it's turning into like fucking. What was the White Berry Bonds?
yeah.
What was White Berry Bonds?
Whiteberry Bonds. I only know White Mike Vick.
No, White Michael Vick was a legend though.
No, they didn't have the right to Barry Bonds in the MLB games, and he was.
He wore like 99, right?
That sucks. That's such a good trivia
he wore like
question.
99? Am I right
off the top
about
of my head?
White
Yeah,
Berry
he was
Bond.
so good. Yes, they didn't have Bill Belichick
bet
in
he'd be
video
in the Hall
games
of Fame.
either.
That's right. John Dowd. Yeah.
John Dowd.
Sure.
And
That was-
Michael Jordan was roster player.
This was like literally
For a while.
their Barry Bonds because they couldn't have him, and he would just like 99 everything, just destroying people.
I don't know how I feel with that Beanie Baby movie. The
I like the doc a
documentary was
lot,
kind of cool.
but that's now I feel like that's what makes this movie almost not like irrelevant, but like at least to me personally, not to everybody that would want to watch. But
The doc was such
Yeah.
small time, simple stuff that that the movie, I think, clearly what they're doing, you'd have to exaggerate it to a large degree.
in
to
the
make it
same
very
way that
interesting.
like everything about the trailer for Dumb Money got me excited, like it's the opposite here. And I don't know if it's the cast involved or
Yeah.
some of the other
brand. It's just too many brand movies.
Yeah, a lot of.
And I
but
did
this is
like-
an anti-brand.
I
movie,
did like
guess.
Blackberry, but it's just like
But
the brands, man.
The honest brand movies, like the ones like Blackberry was super honest, right? That's good. The Cheeto one, not very honest, but like they had like a heart, I guess, with the characters. But I don't know. I don't know. They use virtual insanity, and I love Jamiroquai, so that gets big points in my book. You ever see this video?
The music video?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Classic.
Moving furniture. It's one of Trill's favorites. But yeah, so that's Beanie Bubble, I guess. Very weird seeing Zach Galifianakis have a beard, and I didn't like that one bit.
Yeah, he was unsettling.
Yeah, very
He
unsettling.
looked like Mel Kiper.
Kind of did. Just need bigger hair. So Asteroid City. Wes Anderson, following a writer on his world famous fictional play about a grieving father, travels with his tech obsessed family to a small rural asteroid city to compete. It's called Asteroid City to compete in a junior stargazing event, only to have his worldview disrupted forever. Obviously, Wes Anderson, obviously Jason Schwartzman, obviously Scarlett Johansson, and like you could say that about half this cast: Bryan Cranston, Tom Hanks, Ed Norton, Maya Hawke, Rupert Friend. Let's see, Liev Schreiber. I feel like I'm missing something.
Tony Revolori.
Tori Revolori. Yeah, I forgot about that. But yeah, so that's Asteroid City, bare bones. I think for me, and I know you guys like it more, so I'll let you go after me and just prove me wrong. This movie I watched, and I was like, there are too many layers of this movie. And number two, I didn't give a fuck about a single human being and their comings and goings in this movie. It was an ultimate, and again, it's part of the reason we picked the Vibes movie for the draft. I thought this was one of the ultimate like style over substance movies I think I've ever seen, where I'm watching it and I'm like, this is gorgeous. I am satiated as an audience member, but like when I try and critically think about this movie, you find nothing. So that's just my base thoughts on it. But I want Jeff to go into a deeper dive and tell me why I'm wrong.
I see. I actually think it's definitely very stylized, like very stylized. And I guess spoiler alert to an extent, it's a movie about a play. About a show, a movie about a play that's being put on via a show. And so when you're not in the play is done in color, ultra is widescreen. It is kind of the standard like black and white. It's like it takes you one step out of the world into the world. That's kind of like the style of it, which I liked, but it also definitely was part of the few things I didn't love. I thought there was like almost not a full commitment to it. Like I kind of wish they would have gone harder there. Because it feels like you probably could have cut it. It wouldn't have mattered. But I like that. Like I still like that there's that unique angle to it because it kind of allows you to suspend like a disbelief of like the actual story with like aliens and like asteroids. I did kind of like that. I think this is his best movie in a while. Now that's not saying a ton. I have liked his recent movies to a certain extent because I like Wes Anderson quite a Bit. I've liked Isle of Dogs less over time. I'm kind of where I am at with French Dispatch. Like I think he does a very good job at like the very technical things in those movies, but there's just no heart. Like from Tenenbaums to Bottle Rocket, Rushmore, Fantastic Mr. Fox, Budapest, Moonrise Kingdom, like those, and even like Life Aquatic. I do like this though. I think this is probably my favorite since what was it? Budapest came after Moonrise.
I think Budapest was right.
2014.
Yeah.
Budapest.
So
2014.
I would say since Budapest, this is my favorite. I liked it quite a bit. I'm going to give it an 85. I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was fun and light, and I liked that the characters were more dispersed. I get what you're saying, not caring about a ton of them, but like any of them. But I like that it was more like a lot of different faces, a lot of different voices, a lot of characters, and it felt like here, at least for me, the characters took much more of a front seat to just him doing his thing, which was I felt like the case with French Dispatch. I listened to a review on this movie a few days ago, and someone was like, "Oh, that very fun cartoon chase scene from French Dispatch." I'm like, that was the most ridiculous, over the top, out of place Wes Anderson thing I think I've seen in any of his movies. So, like, I didn't agree with that at all. So I think this one, I felt like the characters were actually the stars of the movie for once, not just his style. But the style still didn't lack. It's still like fun to look at and enjoyable in that sense. Again, if you don't like Wes Anderson, you're not going to like this shit. Like, it's very.
If you don't like Wes Anderson, you fucking hate this.
And it still doesn't quite like. And Budapest has it, but Moonrise Kingdom is still my favorite Wes Anderson movie. There's still something in Moonrise that is a little easier on the human level to connect with. But I did like this one. Like, I thought some funny moments. I think the alien was a surprise, by the way. But I don't know. I liked it. I thought this was closer to a return to form than his previous two, which felt technically solid, but lifeless in many ways.
Gooch?
Yeah, no, the black and white stuff just off the top just did not work for me. Like the framing of that, like I didn't like it. I just didn't.
You think, was there not enough of it? Do you agree with me on that?
I think if he committed harder to it, I may have enjoyed it more. I would have preferred if he just took it out and we spent our entire time in Asteroid City, pretended that it was real life, instead of a movie. We didn't need what's the old show?
Which one?
The black and white one where he comes in on the screen. He's like, Twilight Zone. That's what it reminded me of.
You gave me, that was such a broad ask. Do you remember that black and white show where that guy came on?
Yeah, he'd come in.
You just described every show before color television.
But yeah, I think could have done without that, and I think I would have enjoyed it quite a bit more. I'm at a 70. I think if you stuck to the Asteroid City part, you would have given us more time with at least one character I felt pretty attached to Jason Schwartzman's character by the end. But I think if you give us more time, then that bond becomes a lot deeper and it becomes a lot more enjoyable. I think it's very funny, by the way. I don't know how the humor landed for you all, but there was a lot of stuff in here that made me audibly laugh out loud. Like, laugh pretty fucking hard.
Definitely a higher hit rate, I would say. And more attempts, too, because like French Dispatch, I don't think there was a single attempt in that, for better or for worse. For me, I'm also at a 70. But for me, that makes it his second worst movie all time in my rankings.
What did you like more, Dispatch or Isle of Dogs?
So I have it Isle of Dogs at a 76 because that one took way more creativity, I think. I
still don't despise that movie. I think like when you compare it to Fantastic Mr. Fox, yeah, it's like one of those. If you had to say one of those is good, one of those stinks, it's pretty clear.
I think when I'm looking at my rankings for Wes Anderson, it's very clear in my mind which ones like what I define as good for him and what I define as bad. Like Fantastic Mr. Fox, Bottle Rocket, Moonrise Kingdom, Grand Budapest, Rushmore, Life Aquatic, Royal Tenenbaums. All of those very easy to attach to the characters involved, right? Because they are very character-driven stories. That's a big part of them. And then right after that, Isle of Dogs. Don't give a fuck about any of these characters. They teased that cast of 5,000 people, and it was just Bryan Cranston and this kid talking the entire time.
It is. You can only hear, like, if you replay that movie in your head, if you tell me you hear anybody but Bryan Cranston, you are lying. And again, I think I have that still like an 81 or an 80. Like I still like don't hate Isle of Dogs, and I think visually it's it's awesome. But you're right, like that. There's just this feeling in Isle of Dogs that carried over to French Dispatch, which I actually don't think is in this one, Robbie. To what you just said, like I think there's some actual genuine like laughs and like a mild bit of humanity. Where all I hear from Isle of Dogs is like Bryan Cranston, very monotone speaking, and it's just like almost this thing where it's like holy shit. It's like there's no. Like, were you breathing when you were recording these lines? Like, it's like that type of thing. And it carried over to French Dispatch in a very unenjoyable
And that's where it's
way.
same thing with French Dispatch. Didn't give a shit about any of these characters. Darjeeling Limited, same thing. I didn't give a shit about any of those people. Dude, bad movie.
Yeah, so I don't like Darjeeling Limited at all.
And
I really
this
don't
is
like
where,
Darjeeling
for
Limited.
me, Asteroid City slides in, like, right in this grouping where it's just like, I like everything. The stage is set correctly. I just don't like the players. You know, like, I didn't really like any of these characters, and I didn't care about them. I didn't have an empathy or sympathy for anything that was happening. I was just like,
you didn't like any of the kids? I thought the kids were great.
The kids were good kid actors. They were good kid actors. I did not feel a level of sympathy or empathy to anybody. And I feel like, and it's just a personal taste for me. Like, I really want that with almost any movie I watch. I want to feel an attachment to one of these characters, and very rare instances where that's not the case. And I think it hurt this movie more than it helped. Just kind of being all over the place and being like, hey, fucking check it out. It's Tom Hanks.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That was literally that's what that scene was. It was just check it out. It's Tom Hanks. Like moments like that, they just don't do shit for me. Again, visually, I loved the style of this one, which is what you can say about it.
I thought I was going to hate it too because of how like bright, it just looks so
nice, soft,
so saturated. And then once it got on the big screen it looked great.
Yeah, it actually, Dispatch, for various reasons, it was like different stories. I guess in the actual offices, it was a little brighter. But Dispatch and Isle of Dogs especially had a very, I think it was like muted kind of feel to it, where I did like this bright look here. Like it felt
kind of like Moonrise in that way.
Nice,
like I feel like they had a very similar, I don't know what you would call it, color palette or whatever.
Gucci are going to be big Jake Ryan guys.
Who the fuck is Jake Ryan? From which one? His name was Jake Ryan?
See, this proves my point, basically.
The actor.
He's 8th grade. And
Woodrow, yeah. But he's
so funny.
He's in 8th grade.
The chicken nuggets or whatever it was, the McNuggets. It's very funny.
I feel like he needs like a stan community on Twitter.
Oh, he's just not at the right age yet, but he will get that.
Every one of these characters is going to get a stan.
Yeah, they're going to be like a what do you call it? K-pop fan cam.
I've already seen Maya Hawke fan edits for this movie. She's in it for like 3 minutes.
You can say I give out almost every character. Fucking Tom Hanks had a weird name in this. What was it?
I can't remember.
It's like Zap or something. Fuck, I don't remember. I don't know, but that's Asteroid City.
By the way, one of the funniest like in theater experiences I've had in a while from this movie. Showed up packed theater, the Wes Anderson crowd, as you'd expect. It's like
overalls.
It's like a mixture of just old
Beanies.
whites and young whites who drink matcha. But anyways,
you did your Dennis Miller bit. These fucking hipsters and their matcha lattes.
Listen, he was onto something. But so the scene when, spoiler, Scarlett Johansson drops her towel, and it's
not clearly
a body double, clearly. But someone thought it would be funny to like go woo woo and start like clapping, and he gets like 4 claps in, realizes no one's laughing with him, at him, or like even giving him attention. He just like it just was the hardest fade of a clap. It's Very funny.
How do you clap at a nude scene?
I don't know.
I think it was like a fucking perv theater.
It was also like
like a porno theater or whatever.
It's also like she was in a mirror, like you could barely even see anything.
Yeah.
What are we doing?
This guy's just number one amazing guy doing ScarJo edits.
It was Buddy Pounds is at my screening.
So that's Asteroid City. Let's do our draft of best vibe movies. Like I was saying before, I did our order ahead of time. It's going to be me, then Robbie, then Jeff. I feel like, again, the definition is loose, but we can debate picks and we can figure out what's what. For me, when we put this together, right? Like I think you suggested vibe movies first. Like the first thing I thought of in my mind is the pick I'll take first, which is Chef.
Yeah, big time vibe movie.
Chef is an all-time vibe movie for me, and I think it is almost the perfect one in that when I go to rewatch Chef, I'm not like, I'm going to go rewatch this because Jon Favreau is so good. I'm going to go rewatch this because I love this scene. I'm going to go rewatch this because I'm just going to watch it because I am thoroughly entertained start to finish, and I feel like I get into a different mood, in a different zone when I watch it. And that's the best thing I think like you could say for a movie like Chef. It just exists in this world where everybody loves it, and it puts everybody into like a good mood watching it. So I gotta go Chef.
It's like sitting in a kitchen, like hanging out in a kitchen all day.
Yeah.
And then just watching people cook. I don't know. It's very relaxing.
Good colors, good setting.
Oh, love it. The music.
Miami stuff. All of it's great. John Lasagna.
John Lasagna, baby.
Bobby Cannavale for 5 seconds.
Robert Downey Jr. for 3 seconds.
Fucking ScarJo in that as well.
Oh, yeah. I forgot that his ex-wife is Sofia Vergara.
Yeah.
And the girl he's dating is ScarJo.
Yeah. I love that. That's the what do you call it effect? The Adam Sandler effect.
Yeah.
I mean,
why not? Why not?
So Chef for me. Now Gooch.
I will take Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. I think
it's too good.
That's a vibe movie, though. That's a hangout. That's like you just turn it on. You just You're hanging out with Leo and Brad Pitt for 3 hours. And it's in the 70s, the nice LA scenery. The music is perfect. Great vibe movie.
I don't think a vibe movie can be longer than 2 hours.
Oh, it absolutely can. In fact, I'd argue longer movies can be vibier.
I think there's in my head, it can't because Leo is too good in it. And like in my head, like I'm like, I want to rewatch it because I want to see him do that monologue scene in the trailer because he was so fucking good at acting in that moment. I want to watch because of this. I
want to drive around with him.
It is one of what I think the best movies ever made. I think it's truly like a masterpiece. But I wouldn't have classified that as vibes. There's
exactly.
Some dark shit in that movie.
Someone gets lit on fire with a fucking flamethrower.
Vibes. That's a vibe.
I don't know. I mean, we could veto them. We have the votes. Nah,
let them have it. Whatever.
I wanted to take it for Jeff.
He wouldn't have taken it.
I would not.
I don't think it's a vibe movie.
I'm keeping it.
No doubt. Great movie.
Yeah. The people will understand.
Well, no, the people will not understand because they're going to look at your list.
We have some vibey listeners, all right? Our listeners smoke a lot of weed.
Our listeners are going to look at your fucking list and...
Our listeners smoke a lot of weed. I'm about to take 2 back to back, my friend.
They're going to look at your fucking list and see you picked all like Oscar winner banger movies and be like, that one. Like all the people on Twitter when they look at the graphic. So you're going to end up winning, but that's because people don't read.
That is the only Oscar winner on my list.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that eerie ranch scene. Yeah, where you don't know someone's going to jump around the corner there. And kill him. Good,
dude. Brad Pitt's rocking a Hawaiian shirt. What's not a vibe about that? He's got the moccasins on.
I forgot how funny the Bruce Lee scene was. I rewatched that on YouTube the other day.
Which one?
The Bruce Lee scene. So fucking funny. It's called Murder.
This movie is so fucking good, man. That movie is so
Jeff, you're back to back.
You mentioned weed. You mentioned food. I'm going to go a combination of both. I'm going to go Harold and Kumar with my pick. Harold and Kumar go to White Castle. I have a lot of dudes rock movies on here. That's a great buddy dudes road trip movie. Wacky stuff, all for a bunch of fries.
It's so satisfying too when they actually get it.
It is. It is so satisfying. I love White Castle too, so that helps out quite a bit. So I'll take Harold and Kumar. Now I'm gonna go similar. And I guess there's some dark stuff in this movie, but I think it's done in a little more of a comedic way. That's Pineapple Express. This movie, the trailer for the movie was a vibe. They had the
paper planes. Yeah.
They had the paper planes song in the trailer. There's just so many funny things for some reason. And it's just, this shows to my like stupid humor and why like the egg showing its bush is things that I love. And I think you should leave. when Danny McBride bounces, when Red bounces the exercise ball and he's going trying to get a motherfucking scholarship, like that'll never not make me laugh hysterically. I remember this was a really good theater experience when this first came out. I remember went to like a 10 p.m. showing here in Austin. People were hyped up for it. It was awesome. So good vibes at Pineapple Express.
One of the
Love
funny
that
things
movie.
about Harold and Kumar is how so much of it like kind of hinged on Neil Patrick Harris fucking so many women.
Yeah. I mean, How I Met Your
Guantanamo Bay.
Yeah, exactly. Same thing. Yeah.
The Christmas movie is
that
really
the one where they're in the
awesome.
plane,
Like the
right?
third one,
And, what do you call it? The girl just like looks back at Kumar and like he's suddenly turned into like a Taliban guy.
That's Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay. And he's just like
That's
he's just going like this, like ooh, and then he drops the gravity bomb, and that old dude just
smoke starts
poison gas, and everyone starts freaking out. Oh my god!
They go to George Bush's house, W's house, and they smoke weed with him.
It's a good Rob Corddry role. I will say Rob Corddry is very funny in that movie too. Guantanamo Bay is funny. Don't get me wrong.
There's redeemable moments in all of them, I think. So Harold and Kumar, Pineapple Express, great pick too. So it's very funny. Gooch.
I'd argue it's too good to be picked.
No, not doing that. That just
I'm gonna take. This is a movie this pod has pushed forever. One of the best recommendations I can give out to anybody. Everybody wants some.
Yeah, that's on my list.
Big
Next up, actually,
movies. Most of Linklater's movies really do fit in here.
Goes on my list too.
It really is the perfect movie for recommending to people because nobody's seen it. Nobody's seen it. I don't understand how it's not a bigger cult hit at this point. It's great. I mean, you got young Wyatt Russell, you got young Tyler Hoechlin, you got
Beef Pigs.
You got young Glenn Powell, Zoe Deutsch, stellar cast. I mean, I might like it better than Daisy Infused, to be honest.
I definitely
which
do.
is the spirit. It's obviously very much a spiritual successor. Daisy Infused obviously has its following, but if I'm picking one to watch, I'm picking Everybody Wants Some almost every single time.
Hard to agree. That's a great pick. It was like literally
that would have been my third.
It was like literally my next up if you hadn't taken it. See, that's a perfect vibes movie. Not good. Not on the Once Upon a Time like pedestal.
People will agree with me on Once Upon a Time.
All right, my next vibes movie, School of Rock. Ooh. School of Rock, I think, is a fantastic vibes movie. That's when you watch and you could be in any mood and you'll be happier by the time you're done with it. Like you get set into a good mood listening to Jack Black just fucking riff a cappella off of all of these things and watch all these kids like stick it to their parents while also having their own emotional catharsis and like all of this stuff. I'm a big fan of School of Rock, but I don't know. You guys, is that good for vibes movie? I think so. Yeah.
School of Rock? Yeah, it was towards the bottom of my list because I'm not a massive School of Rock fan. I do like it quite a bit, but I think that absolutely counts. Music is an easy indicator.
Most of these movies have good music.
Movie. I don't think you can call a movie, and I think to Gooch's point, Once Upon a Time has good music in it. I think like you can't be a good vibe if your music stinks.
One of the young cast members from School of Rock had a very weird tweet the other. Did you see that?
Oh no, I know one of them went to jail. Like the main kid, like
this is like the girl who played bass.
Miranda
I can't remember what she said. I'll have to find it.
But School Rock is the first one. The second one of my ultimate good vibes movies of all time, and I love that everyone universally came to the same conclusion on it because like it shouldn't be as mainstream popular as it is outside of like children, but it is. Paddington Bear. Paddington Bear is one of the great vibe movies. Both movies are. I think you watch it and you're just in such a pleasant goddamn mood because of that stupid CGI bear just eating marmalade and fucking helping people solve their problems. So I think Paddington, School Rock back to back are two great vibe movies. But you guys are all Paddington dudes too.
Marmalade boy.
I am a Paddington guy, but I will say the normie take of Paddington 2 is the best movie ever did get a little grating there for a while.
No, but I think everyone can agree it was a very good movie. That's the good part of it. Yeah. Gucci's back up.
Ooh. I wasn't even paying attention. I'm going to take from a director we were talking about earlier. I'm going to take Moonrise Kingdom from Wes Anderson.
You could pick fucking Wes Anderson movies for this whole thing.
Pretty much, yeah. But if I'm going to go with one, I'm going to pick my favorite. Young love, baby. I love movies about young love, and They're adorable. Running across the countryside. That little kid, what's his name? I can't remember the little fort. His camp is always set up perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Those little facts. It's so funny to me. And I think it's the most enjoyable to look out of all of his films. I just love that setting, just everything about it.
Very quaint little soundtrack too.
Yeah.
Bruce Willis popping up.
Bruce Willis. You want to talk about a guy that's a vibe. I think that's the character I relate most to. He's just a depressed police officer.
So finished with everything. So Moonrise Kingdom off.
He's a good kid. He's just troubled.
Jeff's got back to back
here.
I'm gonna go Wet Hot American Summer.
Yeah, you have two more. Then you're gonna go back around.
So music is a big one here because that Higher and Higher song, like the main song from Wet Hot American Summer, rips. Mm-hmm. That is such a good song. I love the Higher and Higher song. It's just such a funny movie. Everyone is so good in it. The show was great too. I love Wet Hot American Summer. The premise of the show, by the way, being set right before camp, and they're all 20 years older, is one of the funniest things about that entire show and the decision. Wet Hot American Summer is a great vibe all the time. I've not watched it in a while. I need to rewatch it. And then after that, let's go with another music movie. I'm going to go with the sequel.
I wonder when the Mamma Mia is late.
Again. The better.
It's not even fucking close either. It's not even fucking close.
Scale back the Meryl, more Lily James. I think it's the better crop of songs too. Honestly, one of the best vibe scenes in the last 20 years is the Dancing Queen yacht scene when they're all coming.
No Pierce Brosnan singing too.
I love the Waterloo scene with what's his face?
I don't remember that actor's name, but then they're in the restaurant. Yeah,
I think it's like Richard Skinner or something.
It's a tough name.
Yeah, Waterloo scene is very good. Yeah,
Gooch.
Yeah, those are my two.
Oh, damn, I'm already back up. Fuck, this is moving awfully fast for me. Next up, not a good vibes movie, but a vibe movie. One that I can put on and just vibe out to. Dad Astra.
Wow, that's a weird one.
That's a vibe movie.
That's a weird one.
That's an absolute vibe movie. Nothing but vibes. You're just floating through space with Brad Pitt.
You're
It turns out you didn't.
No, you don't know a vibe. You don't know a vibe. This is a vibe. Ad Astra is absolutely a vibe movie.
I think he's right, but also wrong. Like, it's definitely a vibe movie, but I feel like in the spirit of
dialogue, very, very little dialogue, great visuals, just chilling.
I feel like the spirit of this is mostly gooder vibe movie.
Oh, I didn't say good vibes.
You didn't, but all the picks so far.
Vibe movies.
Yeah.
Vibe movies. This is a vibe. This movie's a vibe. Like if I said to Rudy, if I asked Rudy, what's he think of? Hey, Rudy, what do you think about Astra? You say,
it's a vibe, dude.
That movie's a fucking vibe, bro.
It's a vibe, dude. Yep. I like that movie a lot, and I think it doesn't get enough credit, but I don't. Yeah, you're right. When you're right. The scene where the fucking moon shootout scene.
Oh yeah, the moon shootout scene is
so cool.
Awesome. The gorilla.
Yeah. Okay, Ad Astra, and now I got my last two picks. I'll start with actually no, I'll make that my last pick. Let's start with, how do you guys feel about Rush Hour as a vibes movie? I think so, right?
That's a vibe movie.
I think
fun, action, summary, blockbuster. Yeah.
And that's another one I feel like even if I'm not in the mood necessarily for an action movie, I'll go watch Rush Hour. I'll go watch like Jackie Chan do crazy stunts and them make retroactively pretty racist jokes, but that are just funny. Still very, very, very funny.
Very funny.
They solved racism, Jackie Chan and Chris Tucker. Like no question. Like it was done after that moment, after the first Rush Hour. But I love all of them. I like all three. Like,
dude, the third one might have what's the joke that they do the who's on first joke
with Shaq. It was you.
Yeah,
they do the you thing. You. No, me? No, I'm you. Like they do that whole thing.
So good.
Like I like all of them a lot. Super fucking funny. They kill me, man. And like when they go to Hong Kong and the second one gets me. I'm a big Rush Hour guy. And they're great for just like, again, a vibe thing. Like I'll just sit down and watch it and I feel so fucking, I'll still laugh out loud at these moments that I've seen 100 times.
You want to talk about movies that couldn't be made today? Rush Hour, absolutely one of them.
No way, dude. That one's getting made in a heartbeat. Make that with
Well, they want to make not 4.
Actually,
They already made. Well, yeah, 4.
Yeah.
They want to make 4. They've been talking about it
Jackie
for a while.
Chan's too old to be doing that shit anymore. I don't know if Chris Tucker's moved on too. I think I would have. I think Jackie. If I had to recast it, I wouldn't, because I love Rush Hour too much. Actually, the more I'm thinking about it. Okay, I'll do Rush Hour, and then I'll end with the movie I really liked, and I think I really wish this director would do a lot more movies like this and a lot less like the other ones he's doing. The Gentleman. I think The Gentleman is a big time vibes movie.
The Jake Gyllenhaal movie's really good. Have you seen it? We haven't talked about it. I think it's pretty solid. Like, I think it's like really good. But I would agree. The other one that came out, did it even come out?
No, that one was him though. But Large did tell us it was a steaming pile of dog shit. And then
was it Operation
the
Rouge,
one we did? For
that one that got delayed like for a year and a half.
I think that interview's just gone now. The one we had with what's his name?
The Covenant with Gyllenhaal. I just watched a few days ago.
I'm gonna check that one out. But still, really I wish that just Guy Ritchie would stick to doing nothing but crime comedy movies. And I think The Gentleman was one where like I go into that thinking like I still like Guy Ritchie from all his previous movies, but he does bullshit like what was it, King Arthur and
Aladdin.
Like Aladdin and like all these other movies that were really weird. Whatever happened to that Robin Hood movie with Taron Egerton that was really bad? That wasn't him, but like, do you remember they had like hemmed clothes?
Him and Jamie Foxx.
Yeah,
right. And it was Jamie Foxx, right?
That stupid movie.
There are 2 Robin Hood movies in like 2 years.
The Russell Crowe one. Yeah, the Russell Crowe one that was also pretty.
The Russell Crowe one was that earlier? I feel like that was earlier.
Right. This Robin Hood was 2018. It was Otto Bathurst. Man, we should have seen that one coming.
I did not think that was going to be. I thought it was Leonardo DiCaprio.
The shitty one?
That movie. The Taron Egerton one?
How the fuck did that happen?
Otto Bathurst. He also directed 2 episodes of
that makes
Halo.
perfect sense. Jesus fuck. But yeah, I'll have The Gentleman as my last pick because like I think that's one where I just love. I think watching what's his name, Hugh Grant.
He's so good in that movie.
He is unbelievably good in that movie.
Everyone is like top of their game in that movie.
Exactly. Yeah, McConaughey is as good as I think he's ever been. Like, you know what I mean? And fucking our boy Charlie Hunnam looking sexy as
that's
hell.
As good as he's ever been. That by far.
Yeah.
No offense to the Sons of Anarchy fans on here, but he fits so well into the Guy Ritchie like playbook.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And even like Jeremy Strong, very funny in that. As like the weirdo billionaire.
No, he was not at his best. That character didn't work.
I think he was very funny.
Such a little creep.
But that's what he was. That was the character.
That guy. For every season, there is a fit. For every fit.
Dude, I like that though. I thought that was really funny. And like all the other side stuff, like the Colin Farrell fucking back and forth with the kids in the restaurant, and back and forth with his guys. He's like, he called me this, he called me that. And he's like, I forgot even what I was saying.
Can't even say
it because it's so funny and bad. But those lines are really good, and them all doing like the fight movies that they were putting on YouTube. Oh fuck!
It was with really that British rapper. I can't remember his name.
Yeah,
like Bugsy or something.
Yeah, it was really fucking funny. I gotta rewatch The Gentleman. I think I've seen it like 10 times.
Dude, I was like 100% positive that movie was gonna fucking stink.
Me too, and it was so good.
The trailers that they cut for that movie did it such a disservice. They made it seem like just such a low brow, and it is to a point, but like they just made it seem like the douchiest movie ever made. It's just not that. It's just really fucking funny. If they'd marketed it as like a comedy, I think it would have done so much better.
Dude, fucking Hugh Grant. Like, Ray, you won't give me a steak, Ray? And like bringing him out to the outdoor stove.
Touches it. Shit.
Well, get me one of these with the money I get. Oh, man, I really like that movie. Robbie, your last pick.
My last pick, I'm going to go with a director I'm not a fan of, but the movie I do enjoy quite a bit. It's Midnight in Paris. Absolute vibe movie.
Jeff would have figured that.
Love Midnight in Paris.
It is, that's good vibes.
Until you think about it too hard.
It's definitely a vibe.
Just don't think about it too
hard. It's not vibey about your fiance cheating on you.
Like I was gonna say, it's like it depends on how you classify it.
He finds love by the end of it with
There's definitely like a type of vibe there. Okay,
was it Léa Seydoux or was it Marion Cotillard? He ends up with at the very end.
It's
All right. Yeah,
Marion
I couldn't
Cotillard.
remember. I get the French accent.
Yeah.
Right? Now you're making me.
But yeah,
Yeah. My last pick, I'm having a tough time here, but I think I know what I'm going to go with. I'm a big time it's Marion Cotillard. I'm a big time Midnight in Paris defender. Like Woody
Yeah.
Allen sucks.
I mean that
but-
movie's good. Just is.
Yeah. Where'd he go?
Just ran a wallet out to someone.
Our good boy John Kelly left his wallet in here.
Oh, okay. I wanted to take Pitch Perfect, but I'm not going to. I think Pitch Perfect is a good vibe movie. But I already have a musical one, so I'm going to go with my favorite
That's
movie.
a great
of all time,
vibe
Ocean's
pick.
That was
11.
on my list, and I was like, yeah.
It's a good. Everything works out for your heroes in that movie. Now, granted, I guess in the second one but like in the context of that, like gets the girl back, steals the money. Like there's just so many, and also like anything with Vegas that glorifies Vegas will always make you have like good feelings, good vibes.
Very snappy.
Music is great in that movie too. Yeah, so it funny too. Just Ocean Love is such a funny movie. That is
very
Soderbergh at
quick.
his best.
Very
It
like
truly
everything
is just
happens. Like very few breaks, you know. And I think that's in a good way.
Yeah. Great, and again, dudes rock. It's a great collection of just dudes from all different ages and locations, religions, and they're just stealing from a rich.
Yeah, I'm
dude.
just thinking some of the ones I had on my list. I had My Neighbor Totoro on the list. Great vibes movie.
Yep.
You could have had like every Studio G movie.
I had Whisper of the Heart as my Ghibli pick.
Ferris Bueller, I think you could have on there. That's one where like, yeah, big.
I had Ferris Bueller.
I had it on my list. That
piano scene is a big.
I was thinking, what did you guys think about Oh Brother Where Art Thou? I feel like that's a good.
That's a
movie.
vibes movie. Yeah. Oh yeah,
Big Lebowski as well.
Mm-hmm. Great music.
Knight's Tale I had on there, which is a random one, but I think Knight's Tale is a great vibes movie.
I fucking love.
Me too.
Would you pick any of
that
the
movie?
Love A Knight's Tale. I love that movie.
So, would you have picked any of like the I Love You Man or Role Models?
I don't think so.
Or see, I don't think so. I think for me, Pineapple is one of the few that fell under the. I think
humor's
those other
almost
ones
too
didn't
snappy.
really work.
You almost have to
Yeah.
be too engaged.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You could be most of these movies. You have to be able to relax and watch. At least in my head, like you know what I mean. Like all my picks, like you can just chill out and watch. Like you're not going to be like your BPM will never rise watching them. Fuck man, I fucking love Knight's Tale.
Yeah.
What a hilarious set of lists there.
Yeah,
with
so we
Gooches
have-
in
You
the
guys want to
middle.
hear some of the other ones I have on my list?
Yes,
All right. The Batman.
that no.
Yes.
That's a hard no on.
That's a vibe. That's a vibe. It's all vibes.
That
Yeah.
movie goes on too
Dude,
long
he's-
to be a
he
vibe.
keeps trying to make
And
these
I love
long
that. I
movies
think
vibe
that's one of the best.
Prometheus.
Yeah, one of the best movies ever. One
Prometheus
of the best comedy movies
definitely
ever made.
no.
Top five.
Prometheus
It's
is a
amazing.
vibe movie.
I'm
2001: A Space Odyssey. Vibe.
veto.
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner, yes. Blade Runner 2049. I'm saying yes.
That's
yeah,
so
but that one is
long,
all
though, too.
so much like visual. Like it's part of it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dazed
it's a
and
visual
Confused?
vibe.
Yeah.
Once Upon a Time in the West.
No,
I think so.
I don't think so.
Dead Man. I don't know. That's a really deep pocket pick. I don't think I was ever going to take that.
Yeah.
Pump Up the Volume. Also very deep cut pick. Fallen Angels. And then Clerks.
Clerks would have been a great pick. Yeah.
One that I don't think we would have taken, but I think others would have.
Yeah.
Probably
Yeah.
Sandlot. I don't love the
No, that's-
Sandlot. I'm not a big Sandlot guy. but
I
I'm
would
sure
say it
people
is
would
like a
have taken
vibe.
that.
Like it is an absolute like summer vibe. Like
Yeah. You're not watching it for like, oh, I love the fucking kid who plays Snips or whatever. Like, you know what I mean?
ham.
Yeah. Like, they offered him to do us again the other day. It's like, I've had enough ham. That's enough for us. Matilda I had on my list as well. I think Matilda's a good vibes movie.
Yeah.
I think it's a great vibe. Watching that little kid eat all that cake just makes me happy. So my list is Chef, School of Rock, Paddington, Rush Hour, and The Gentleman. Gooch has Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Everybody Wants Them, Moonrise Kingdom, Ad Astra, Midnight in Paris. Jeff has Harold and Kumar, Pineapple Express, Wet Hot American Summer, Mamma Mia 2, and Ocean's 11. It'll be an interesting graphic.
Yeah, I'm interested to see how people
Because people are going to have no idea what the fuck they're looking at, I think.
I think the cool ones will.
They're gonna because no one's gonna read it. They're just gonna look at the fucking poster or the movie art or whatever, and they're gonna be like, "What the fuck happened here?" Like literally, like Paul Rudd in
what the hell?
in Endgame or whatever. What the hell happened here? All right, but that's LCB episode 196. We'll be back
It's fucking like
On
we're like you're
Tuesday.
like 80
We're
episodes.
back on
off.
Tuesday with episode 203. Until then, see you guys next week.